All right, good morning, guys. Back at it with another MLB DFS. This is just comical. I don't know what is going on. It's just comical at this point. I couldn't record the last 2 days, but we're back, I guess. That's the terrible statement, but I mean, we're just gonna keep grinding. Hopefully today's the day Grandma gets out the cage. If you've been checking out the Twitter, she's still all locked up. Any any thoughts from you?
Yeah, I mean, not just full stacking, but just landing on bad spots and full stacking is really detrimental to the lineups because, like yesterday, we thought Washington was in a pretty good spot and Baltimore full stacked them combined for 5 runs between everybody, a whopping like 12 fantasy points from everybody. Wasn't very wasn't very competitive, although the line was pretty low and like 100. Wisdom went off. I did kind of look at him as a one-off piece, but just couldn't get there. He was being cold for like the last week or two, so but he has that sort of upside for the two dong like he did yesterday. Um, Mackenzie Gore had a big game of his life, 55. Pretty good spot against KC, strikes out a ton. Not a lot of people landing on there. That was probably a good play. Nothing much else to take away from the weekend. Just gotta land on the right stacks. And if you don't, you're toast. That's where we've been like the whole last week, just cold, landing on the offenses.
Yeah, weren't we talking about some of the winning stacks or the winning lineups, like a bunch of, a bunch of like one-off pieces and shit. There's like no legitimate stacks.
And some of the
Seems
bigger
like
field ones are just like, random constructions where it's like maybe a couple two mans and then a bunch of one offs, just like optimizer type plays from each team rather than actually full stacking or 4-2-2s or, whatever.
is it NFL season yet? My God. All right, let's jump into this. Oop. All right, pitchers tool ranked by top pitcher percentage. I'm not paying 12-2 or 11-2 for Eovaldi, but you got Eovaldi, Taj Bradley, Sonny Gray, JP France, Tyler Wells. What are we thinking today? What's getting grandma out the cage?
I think JP France is going to get us out the cage. He has similar opponent team totals as the top guys, 4.2 for Minnesota. He strike out a ton, fair price tag at 8,200. He's also projecting for this relatively the same amount of fantasy points on Ballpark Pal and top pitching percentage on Stochastic at about 11%, but 2K cheaper than Gray, Uvalde, those kind of guys. So I think I'll just land on France and then pay up for the bats, and hopefully the offense just shows up for once.
I agree. Eovaldi's look pretty good, but I mean he's at 11-2 right now, so forget that. Taj Bradley, I don't know too much about, but the Cubs are weird because it's like they'll have like a small like losing streak and then just randomly they'll put up like 7, 8 runs. Um, Sonny Gray, I don't mind too much. The only reason why I'm torn is because he's playing Houston, and with our luck, Houston's gonna step up if we play him. So staying away from that. JP France, I kind of like here, cheaper, kind of like you said, can definitely get to some better bats. I remember shit talking about Tyler Wells, and he's 9,700, and I think the one day we were like, "Oh fuck Tyler Wells, like don't play him or whatever." He got like 40 something fantasy points and just went crazy, but definitely no
I
Stroman, no Wainwright. That's basically it.
Yeah, I don't hate Wells here. It's just Cleveland doesn't really strike out all that much. Um, Like I think they're bottom 5 in the league in K percentage, but at least they used to. Not my favorite guy on the slate. I think he's maybe a couple $100 overpriced, maybe more like a low 9 kind of guy rather than 9.7.
Mhm. Let's jump to sticks, considering I overslept. So we kind of got to roll through these. St. Louis, Arizona, Texas, Tampa, Baltimore, and it kind of drops off. What's getting Granny out the cage? What do we like?
I think Arizona is going to be my favorite. They're obviously the chalkiest too, which is kind of disappointing. I just think they're in a pretty good spot here, projecting pretty well for runs created on Ballpark Pal, projecting for almost 5 runs, and just like some good stackable pieces. You can play Corbin Carroll, which is always fun for bags and home runs, and he's fairly cheap from what I remember. Yeah, 3,500. That's fair price tag. You can also play Pavin Smith, who's projected the lead off at like 2,500. Yeah, that's a nice tag. He's been really cold, but if he can get it going at 2,500, you're really gonna take that. Texas looks pretty good here too. I like Josh Jung the most. I think today from that stack, he's just been smashing in general, but he definitely smashes lefties. I think he's a pretty good play. And if I had to take someone from, I mean, you can take 3 or 4 cards and say they're all pretty decent plays. I think Nolan Gorman may be my favorite, but he's kind of steep at second base, which I never really like to pay up for. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, St. Louis, Arizona, Texas look pretty good. Tampa, I wouldn't mind as much, but Stroman has like the ground, like one of the best ground ball percentages, like pitching just ground balls getting ground out. So, I mean, it also kind of depends. Like, can Tampa just lay over his balls and try to get something done? You were mentioning that Baltimore destroys lefties. So I kind of like Baltimore as a secondary option. Nothing else really stands out. I mean, I guess you can go Casey against Wainwright, who's been kind of crap this year. So Drew Waters is like 2,000 in the 9 hole slot if you need like a salary saving bat, and he's, a part of the KC stack. You can definitely do that and round it up, do like a 9-1-3 or something like that. You can definitely get away with that. Yeah, Texas looks good here. Arizona, you were mentioning too, Arizona's pretty cheap, so that's probably why they're very chalky. But it's actually funny they have the better stack score than St. Louis. I just saw that now. But yeah, you can definitely get a little different going with Baltimore and KC. And it's always funny to see Houston all the way like at the bottom of the tool, but it's also they're playing Sonny Gray, so and Astros have been added to our banned list, probably for a couple slates. But
It's just funny. Like we stacked them against Oakland on Saturday, I think, and then yesterday was the day when they had like 7 home runs, and even Abreu hit one out. It was just
yeah,
insanity.
out of everyone, White Sox legend put his number in the rafters. Um, you want to do home runs or lineup generator first?
Home runs first.
All right, go ahead.
First guy I'm going to is Josh Jung, who I mentioned from that Texas stack. Gonna go Christian Walker and Nolan Gorman.
I accidentally closed my notes app. Sorry. So I'm gonna go with Jared Kalenic, Jose Ramirez, and Max Muncy. I called Muncy the last time. Got to go back to the well with him again. All right, so lineup generator. At this point, we might as well just use this and post a lineup. What should we just do all stack types considering that's what's been going?
Yeah. Uh, do you think we should avoid balance? Like, how many chalky pieces do you want?
That's the thing. You want to try contrarian?
We can try it, see where it goes.
You want to lock anyone in? You want to do
Let's see where
France?
let's see where France puts us. 1,000 left on the table.
That's interesting. To be completely
Good.
honest, why does it say he's 7'5"?
Yeah, he's 82. Uh, might have some mispricing in the tool.
You know what? Hold on. Yeah, there's definitely something up in the tool.
Well, at least you get an idea of the pieces you can get, sort of in
Exactly.
those ranges.
And so if you click discard, it gives you a whole new lineup that you can do. And then if you click save, you can save up to 20. Here, you know what? Let's just do it real quick. Whoa, 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 whoa. So it kind of shows who you've got the most exposure to. So obviously France we locked, so it has to be 100. Then it kind of goes down the list of who got exposure in your generated lineups. And then you can actually, hold on, you can export to a CSV and then upload all of them into a lineup. That's something kind of interesting. Um, Final thoughts, anything we missed, any crazy news that just came out that we didn't know.
No, just hoping to get back on track today. Um, and we hope you guys are still riding along with us. We do appreciate the support. We just hit over 100 subscribers, which is pretty great. And just make sure to check out the lineup on Twitter. Probably drop it like 15 minutes before lock and like subscribe if you haven't already.